Hi, everybody. This is Saad for the Saad Truth. Today, outside of the camera view, my daughter is watching me tape this. Hello, daughter.
Hi.
So she wants to see how the magic works. I wanted to make a few comments about today's demise of Sinwar, who was the quote mastermind of October 7th. I'm not sure how much masterminding it takes to say, go into Israel and rape and kill as many Jews as you can. It doesn't take that much strategic insights. But in any case, today he was killed. And of course, as you know, recently Nasrallah was killed, the head of Hezbollah, and many other of those wanted guys in Hamas and Islamic Jihad and Hezbollah were killed. Now, while one may argue, okay, those were necessary retributive justice, I don't think it will alter much. It's a band-aid solution, a necessary one, but it's like trying to put a band-aid over a gushing wound you have, which might stop the bleeding. But the reality is that the reason why your wound is gushing is because there are some underlying uh, issues that are causing you to bleed. And if you don't solve those, then the problem will recur. And so I think what's uh, the only, some of you may remember I mentioned a while ago two quotes from Golda Meir, who was the prime minister of Israel in the late 60s and early 70s. I don't have the exact quotes in front of me, but she said something to the effect of, if the Palestinians lay down their arms, there will be peace. If the Israelis lay down their arms, there will be a genocide. Meaning that the Israelis could kill all the Palestinians, and yet they don't. Whereas if it were possible the other way around, they certainly would do it. So that's number one. Number two that she said is, there will be peace when the Palestinians love their children more than they hate ours. But more generally, what these quotes represent is the fact that the Israelis and Jews in general have no interest in killing all the Muslims around them. As a matter of fact, they would love nothing more than to just be left alone so that they can trace their own trajectory. The reality is that the other group views it as an existential crisis for a Jewish state to exist in that land. It is canonical, it is doctrinal, it is in the religion itself. Once a land has been, quote, ruled by Islam, it is forevermore part of Dar al Islam. And if you lose it, it's part of Dar al Harb. Harb means war. So the world is binary according to Islam. There is the house of Islam and the house of war. Anything that is not currently under Islamic authority is under an actual state of war, canonically. So one group would love to see the erasure of another group. That's Palestinians want to see the erasure of Jews. Okay? That is incontestable. It has been going on for 1400 years. Now, the day that Palestinians will say, history is such that people gain land, lose land. I am sitting today on land in Canada that at one point was owned by indigenous people, right? Nobody is coming to take me out of my house because every single inch on earth was at some point conquered by someone else. That's called history. Every single society has had to move on, right? Our home in Lebanon was stolen by Palestinians. We had to leave Lebanon. My parents were kidnapped by Palestinian militia, Fatah, but we moved on. Yes, it's an ugly part of our past, but we've moved on. My wife's family were faced the Armenian genocide. My grandparents escaped Syria. My brother-in-law's family escaped Alexandria and Egypt. So our families are defined by the fact that we've consistently had to escape the people of perpetual peace and love. But again, we've moved on. We don't hold any ill will against general Muslims or general Palestinians. We realize that the best way to live life is to live a dignified life, a life full of purpose and meaning, and that's the best revenge. So the day that the Palestinians decide that we're no longer interested in killing Jews, we're no longer interested in from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, we're no longer interested in global intifada, and we truly want to live in peace, then you will have an unleashing of human capital in the Middle East that is difficult to fathom, because the Middle East is full of creative people, educated people, and I'm not talking about Jews here, I'm talking about people of all faiths. There is a rich historic reality, there is incredible culture of hospitality in the Middle East. So imagine if you can simply accept the fact that Jews are going to be in that small land that's the size of New Jersey. It's time to move on and to live and coexist. Then the problem will be solved. Killing Sinwar, killing Nasrallah is a temporary measure. It's a necessary measure, but it's not going to bring about peace. And of course, the fact that many innocent people have died since Israel has retaliated is only going to create new terrorists and a new cycle of violence and so on. So the most dangerous thing in nature are the parasitic ideas that are in one's mind, right? And so once you get the enemies of the Jews to no longer wish to erase all Jews, then you will have peace and you'll have flourishing. I just want to say one or two other things. Did you know that Sinwar had a brain tumor a few years ago, and the Israelis took him? They already knew he was their avowed enemy. They took him and did a life-saving surgery on Sinwar that saved his life. What did Sinwar do to repay them? He was the mastermind of October 7. That tells you everything you need to know about the difference between the two societies. Here's another little piece of fact for you. 180,000 Palestinian children are receiving polio vaccinations. You know who is the pioneer who created the polio vaccine? Jonas Salk. You know what Jonas Salk is? He's Jewish. So instead of hating all day and night on Jews, maybe say, thank God that there are Jews that are around to save Sinwar from his brain tumor and to save 180,000 kids who otherwise would have not been inoculated against polio. Take care, everybody.